Welcome back to TransGuyReacts. My name is Nick and I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional. Today I'm talking about the WNBA games for, what's today, Sunday, September 8th. To be honest, I didn't watch them really fully. There was a lot of games on today, and it was all day long from like 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And so I saw parts of each game, but I wasn't like super into the games. So this is going to be mostly a recap, just get through it real quick. So the first game was the Minnesota Lynx versus the Washington Mystics. The Washington Mystics really needed a win tonight to stay in contention for the playoffs. And I believe this is the first game where Myisha Hines-Allen has played against the Mystics, and she was traded a few weeks ago, so that's kind of interesting. At the half, it was 35-39. I came in at the end and saw a blatant like walk by Bridget Carlton that wasn't called, and everyone in the building saw it. It was crazy, and people in the crowds were protesting and yelling, but the refs didn't see it. And I'm just like, every game there's something really obviously bad calls, and I mean, what can you do about that? It was pretty tight game the entire way, but the end of the game it was 78-71. The Lynx did win that game, unfortunately, because they didn't really need to win that game, but unfortunately for the Lynx, I mean, it's for the Mystics. The box score for this: Brittany Sykes had 13 points, 1 steal. Stephanie Dolson had 11 points, 7 rebounds. Ariel Atkins had 12 points, and then Jade Melbourne had 9 points, and then a slew of people had like between 4 to 6 points. And then for the Minnesota Lynx, Bridget Carlton had 10 points, Nafisa Collier had 19 points, 12 rebounds for a double-double. Alana Smith had 5 points, but 8 rebounds. Kayla McBride had 10 points. She had a lot of turnovers, so she had like 7 turnovers. Courtney Williams had 12 points. Natisha Heidemann had 10 points. Myisha Hines-Allen had 9 points. So just like offensively, just a better game from the Mystics. Excuse me, not the Mystics, the Lynx. The second game was the Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever. The Dream really needed to win this game to stay in contention for the playoffs. At halftime, it was 48-44. The Dream were up at. I like watched the very last minute. Did I watch the last minute of the game? I just saw like clips of it. On the fourth quarter, the game ended 90-90. It was a tie. It was a very close game throughout. Then overtime, again a very close game, but the Indiana Fever did win. It was 100-104. So super close game. Let's check out the box score. For the Atlanta Dream, Ryan Howard had 36 points. She had a mega night. That's crazy. That's crazy. 36 points. Tina Charles had 17 points, 12 rebounds for a double-double. She was also flirting with fouling out. She had 5 fouls. Alicia Gray had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Jordan Canada had 17 points, 6 rebounds, also flirting with fouling out there too. And then everybody else was just like, 3 to 5 points here and there. For the Indiana Fever, Lexi Hull had 12 points. Leah Boston had a triple double. Look, oh no, I thought it was a triple double for a second. Oh my god, I got too excited. No, it's not triple double. No, it's just a double double. 30 points, 13 rebounds. Fantastic night for her. 5 assists too, 1 block, 1 steal. Kelsey Mitchell had 21 points, and Kaylin Clark had 26 points and 12 assists for a double-double. 9 turnovers. Okay. Okay. Anywho, I don't even need to say anything about that. All right, the next game was the Las Vegas Aces versus the New York Liberty. This one is really about seeding, and it was actually on ESPN. So it was a big game. It was a sellout crowd. The New York well, they're in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was they came to support. It was a big crowd. Asia did not play in this game, so that's important to note because in the last game she hurt her ankle, and apparently they did do an MRI on her, and just as a precautionary measure, they decided to boot her and to not have her play in tonight's game because it's just not important, especially since they all clinched the playoffs. So. At halftime, it was 33-45. In the third quarter, it was Liberty were kicking that ass, and then in the third quarter, it was 51-64. So still Liberty kind of kicking the ass. And then in the fourth quarter, Benijah Hamilton ran into her teammate Jonquel Jones and fell backwards in this really weird way and re-injured her right knee that she just had surgery on. So they had to take her to the back locker room. There were 7 minutes left in the fourth. I was like, ooh, that's just so terrible. Like, you take so many weeks out of she was gone for like a month or more, and to get the surgery done and then still not be able to to almost immediately re-injure it. I hope she's okay, but it is what it is. In the fourth quarter, the Aces do come back. They are able to take a 1-point lead in the quarter. They had Sydney Colson come into the game, and she was hitting clutch shots. She was doing hella good defense, so she was a big game changer for them. But it was a contentious contentious game to the last minute, and Liberty did come out on top. It was 71-75. So pretty interesting game there. Let's look at the box score. Alicia Clark had 11 points. Kelsey Plum had 25 points, 6 assists. And she was almost fouling out. Jackie Young had 12 points, almost fouling out. And then Sydney Colson had 8 points, which is fantastic. 2 steals and 1 block. She had a monster game for her because she's more about defense. So a great game for her. Tiffany Hayes had 7 points. And then Chelsea Gray didn't really produce. She had 6 assists, but she only had 3 points. 3 steals, 2 blocks. She produced. It just wasn't offensively enough. For the New York Liberty, but Nigel Hamilton had 9 points before she had to go out. 9 points and 6 rebounds before she had to go out. Brianna Stewart had 21 points, 11 rebounds for a double-double, 2 steals, 1 block. John Cole Jones had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Sabrina Ionescu had 14 points, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Leonelli Fibich had 7 points, and then a slew of people had 3 points. So a pretty good night for Liberty. They just pulled ahead. They kind of fucked up in the fourth quarter, but they pulled it together at the end. The next game was the Dallas Wings versus the Chicago Sky. Now, both teams really needed this win to stay in contention, but the Sky really needed it more to give them that edge. But they did lose Angel Reese. Like I posted about this yesterday. She confirmed it today. She has a hairline fracture in her wrist. She hurt it when she fell down during a play. They're going to have to do surgery on it, so she's out for the remaining of the season. She'll probably be able to be up and running for the unrivaled season, the new season that Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, their new basketball entity, which I think starts in January. So yeah, that's unfortunate for them. And I was thinking like, it's probably going to be a hard game for them, losing her double-double power. But it wasn't. It was fine. Kim Mulkey was at the game, showing her support. And I watched the first quarter a little bit, and it was a really strong start for the Sky. It was 19-33 at the end of the first. In the end of the second, it was 35-51, and then the third quarter was 54-78, and it was just a decisive win for the Sky. Fourth quarter, 77-92. I don't know what was going on with Dallas because they've been playing really well, but they just did not come to play today. So looking at the score, Satu Sabali had 12 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. Natasha Howard had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. Tierra McCowan had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Enrique Gumbawale had 23 points, which, that's what she does. And then J.C. Sheldon had 6, Kelani Brown had 7, and that was kind of it. That was their firepower. Now, Chicago Sky, Michaela Onyenwede had 10 points. Isabel Harrison had 21 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Camila Cardoso had 10 points, 11 rebounds for a double-double, but she was flirting with fouling out. She had 5 fouls, 1 steal, 2 blocks, though. Kennedy Carter had 28 points. She had a monster night, 6 assists. Dana Evans had 11 points. She had a great game. And then Lindsay Allen and Diamond DeShields had 4 and 6. So really good, offensively minded game for them. They really put it together against Dallas. Now the last game of the evening was the Connecticut Sun versus the Los Angeles Sparks. And this game, honestly, it means nothing for the Sparks because they have been eliminated from the playoffs. But this is a good opportunity for the Sun to get some practice in. I thought honestly they should have just had their benches play, but people still want to be competitive. I was in and out in this game. In the second quarter, it was 39-45. It was pretty close. And Kia Nurse, the Sparks were leading, Kia Nurse makes this 3-point buzzer beater at the end of the half, and I was like, whoa, look at Kia. Oh my God, very impressive. Then in the third quarter, it was 55-58, still a slight advantage to the Sparks, but then we go into the fourth quarter, and then towards the end of the fourth quarter, it just starts to fall apart for the Sparks, and the Sun put it together, and it ends 79-67. Now let's look at the box score for this game, and Los Angeles Sparks, Rakia Jackson had 23 points, just consistent as can be. I love this rookie. She had 3 steals, 1 block, just so efficient on the floor. Deirga Hamby had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal. Odyssey Sims had 10 points. She had a lot of turnovers though. Kia Nurse had 9 points. Crystal Dangerfield had 7. Yeah, it just wasn't enough firepower, unfortunately, just with what Connecticut Sun was able to do. Dewana Bonner had 14 points, 1 steal, 1 block. Alyssa Thomas, the triple-double queen, had 12 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So she had a fantastic game for her. Brianna Jones had 21 points, 9 rebounds, but she was flirting with falling out, but she did not. 2 blocks. Dejanay Carrington had 19 points. She had a fantastic game. 5 steals. 5. Ridiculous amount of steals. Marina Mabry had 10 points, and she even had a steal, I think. Yeah, so just a better offensive outing for the Connecticut Sun, especially in that fourth quarter. Yeah, the fourth quarter. Ooh, just looking at the breakdown, Los Angeles only scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, and Connecticut scored 24. So they just fell apart at the end there, unfortunately. But that's how the cookie crumbles. So yeah, that was the update for today. Appreciate you watching. If you like this content, like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the things that you do with social media, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.